Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Alright, get started on this video. Got this post on X that I found. Breaking. Russia considers sending nukes to Cuba. First time in 62 years. Moscow is reportedly considering sending nuclear weapons to Cuba. It would be the first time since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. Is this a response to the U.S. sending nukes to the U.K.? Source is Sky News. And when I looked it up, I found was this article right here, but this article, that goes into it. And it was published today, yep. Russian MP urges moving nuclear weapons closer to U.S. In response, Russian legislator I'll just read it on down. In response to Washington's alleged intentions to station its nuclear arsenal in Europe, Russian legislator Alexei Zhuravlev has advocated for the positioning of Russian nuclear weapons in nations amicable to Moscow, such as Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. The suggestion follows a report by the Telegraph indicating the U.S. plans to deploy nuclear weapons in the U.K., marking the first such move in 15 years, partly to counter a perceived heightened threat from Russia. Zhuravlev, serving as the first deputy chairman of the Russian Parliamentary Defense Committee and leader of the Rodina Motherland Party, remarked on Telegram that the UK already possesses its own nuclear capabilities and noted the existing presence of a segment of the U.S. nuclear arsenal in various European nations near Russia. He speculated that an additional deployment of nuclear weapons to the UK might not significantly alter the military political dynamics. As per a Russia Today report, Zhuravlev acknowledged the substantial advancements in weapons technology since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. He highlighted that Russian hypersonic missiles capable of being launched from within Russia could reach the U.S. more swiftly than slower missiles fired from closer proximity to the U.S. He also mentioned Russia's strategic aviation, a considerable fleet of submarines stationed at undisclosed locations across global oceans as means to counter any potential threats from the U.S. and NATO. Known for his provocative remarks, Zhuravlev has made headlines with his statements on Russian state television. For instance, in January 2023, he suggested targeting Germany's foreign minister Annalena Baerbock during her visit to Ukraine's Kharkiv region. Later in May, he commented on a need for a significantly larger Russian military force to counter Ukraine. The Russian Foreign Ministry has previously cautioned that if American nuclear warheads were to be reintroduced to Britain, Moscow would feel compelled to implement "quote unquote" compensatory countermeasures. I know what countermeasure is. What's compensatory? Making up for a loss, especially serving as a psychological or physiological compensation. And if you don't know what a countermeasure is, it's a countermeasure. A countermeasure is a measure or action taken to counter or offset another one. As a general concept, it implies precision and is any technological, or tactical solution or system designed to prevent undesirable outcome in the process. Russia has consistently accused Western nations of escalating tensions in Europe and attributes part of the Ukraine conflict to NATO's ongoing eastward expansion. Conversely, several Western officials, including those from the UK, Germany, Estonia, and even the chair of NATO's military committee, have raised alarms about a potential Russian assault on Europe in the coming years, urging Western governments and citizens to brace for a significant confrontation with Moscow. Nonetheless, Russia has firmly denied any intention to invade neighboring European nations, with Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov dismissing such assertions as a hoax. Russian President Vladimir Putin has emphasized that Moscow has no geopolitical, economic, or military interests in engaging a war with NATO, expressing a preference for improving relations with the alliance instead. But NATO has no intentions of improving relations with Russia, man. So you got Russian MPs, ministers of parliament, like Alexei Sovrelev, suggesting positioning Russian nuclear weapons in nations that are amicable, which means friendly, to Moscow, such as Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. In response to what the U.S., to what Babylon is doing, and they may just do it. And that would be a major escalation. That post on X, that tweet by Mario Naufal. It would be like the first time Russian nukes. It would be the first time Russian nukes are located in Cuba. And get some scriptures going into that. First one I'm gonna get is Revelation. Salakio knew one day that was gonna happen. I just don't know how to. I guess next time I do a video, I gotta turn off notifications. The D&D doesn't work as well as turning off notifications. Maybe probably should have done that. But I'm not trying to go into what I have on Telegram and shit. But so Salakia for that, but it happens, you know what I'm saying? Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe being World War III. And the Most High Yahweh, he's stirring up the modern day Medes, which are the Russians. Isaiah 13 and 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Russia, the modern day Medes. Verse 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Verse 19, in Babylon the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High power Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. Verse 21, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. So it's going to be desolate. Verse 22, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry, and the desolate houses and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And, yeah, man. The Russians are being stirred up. The Russians, aka the modern day Medes, are being stirred up against Babylon, against America. And you're seeing it more and more. They're getting closer to war. And that is all according to biblical prophecy, as I have brought out. But and as many brothers have brought out, as the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, they have brought out. But oh, and Russia is also being a guard to all these countries. You're also seeing that, which is Ezekiel 38. And 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company. Oh yeah, verse 6, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Gomer, which is Turkey, and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, former Soviet states, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Many people with thee would include these other nations and the countries. Even Jake, northern kingdom countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. Verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia, they're gonna be a guard unto Venezuela, a guard unto Venezuela, unto Cuba, and Nicaragua, as well as those countries that are listed on here, like Persia. Here, Persia, a lot on the news, Persia's Iran. The U.S. is about to go to war with Iran. Ethiopia, Libya, which Ethiopia recently signed an arms deal with Russia. And Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. And all these countries, these kingdoms that are listed on here, they're going to link up. and it could happen sooner than later, especially if the U.S. strikes Iran. For that, what happened, for that so-called attack on his base in Jordan. And it looks like they're gonna attack Iranian, Iranian interests, but they ain't gonna attack Iran itself. But they could do it, but they said that they were gonna attack maybe an Iranian ship or something, which is still gonna cause problems. And it's gonna cause the situation in the Middle East to heat up, and we know Russia backs up Iran, so yeah, there you have it. But yeah, and her way back, that Russia already got troops in Nicaragua, so moving nukes over there ain't gonna be nothing. But with that, hold on, I'm thinking if there's anything else to bring out. Biden said that he already made the decision. But alright, anything else? A part of that response could also be an attack on the homeland, the attack on Babylon itself, but by a so-called terrorist group. Because they say that that dude that dude forgot his name, that said that migrant that said you're gonna know who I am. There's a video exposing who he is on TikTok. And that dude basically was in jail for terrorism for about 11 to 12 years, around that, roughly around 11 to 12 years. And arms trafficking, all that. He was in jail for that, and he's crossed the U.S. Mexico border, so-called border, near on the Texas side. He crossed, and I wouldn't be surprised that if the payback for striking Iran, or one of the paybacks, because they said that they're tied to Hezbollah, which they could be, or they could have just set them up just to blame them. But Esau could have set them up just to blame Iran and Hezbollah. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a large attack on U.S. soil and it's blamed on them, on this dude. He snuck across the border. And they're gonna pretend to be like all surprised in the mainstream media that it happened when they were letting them across the border just to do their bidding. So they knew it was gonna happen. They probably have intel on the next false flag. They probably have intel on them. They're gonna, yeah, but they're probably aiding it. That's how it would make it a false flag because they're aiding it, or they set the group up. They group up to do that shit. They set them up and then they help them come to the U.S. so he can be the fall guy in a false flag attack on U.S. soil. Or some of the migrants are actually set up to carry it out, including him. They would say that was payback for an airstrike for the airstrikes on Iranian interests. That was part of the payback. I wouldn't be surprised if they do this. It's just me speaking as a man. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually pull this off. But that would give the U.S. an excuse to go after Iran directly. Go after them directly. Which would kickstart this this World War III. It would be a conventional war at first, because we need prophecies like the MOT to the B to come to pass, which is the C hip. But which is close, based on what's been going on, we know that it's close. There's a scripture for that. Second Ezra's. Wait. This is a better one. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. That's so-called race against another race. And kingdom against kingdom. Country against country. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Beginning of sorrows. But, so the third war is not going to be nuclear at first, but it's going to turn nuclear. But at first, it's going to be a conventional war. But a false flag a false flag like that, what I meant to say, would also be excuse to lock shit down for these devils to come down with great wrath. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Verse 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. But with that, I hope this video is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim. Well, I got another scripture to bring out. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Because this devil could use that to demonize us as well. Which he probably will, knowing him. Not probably will, because we're in the days. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And tribulation, that's hard times, evil times, or bad times, evils, same thing. Troubles, you know. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. But with that, I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. Shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom, stay strong. Baba Ball. Death to Babylon. Abala Adamamium. Death to these Edomites. Abala Gawayim. Death to these other nations. Abala Ayab Nawa. Ayab Nawa. Death to our enemies, the rest of our enemies being 2/3 of so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as 2/3 of you Israelite foreigners looking like unto the speckled bird, because you look like the other nations, but you're really Israelites. Talking about the wicked ones, the 2/3 that are here in Babylon. Death to y'all. And death to the wicked Israelites scattered to the four corners of the earth. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to bring that death. For the record, Esau. Alright, Shalom. Stay strong. Baba Ball. Wa and Yashrala forever. Wa meaning and. Yashrala forever. Shalom.